Hi everyone, it occurred to me when I thought about doing this story that 70% of my audience is from the UK, therefore I assume a lot of you won't know who this crazy lady in the tinfoil hat is. I put that there, by the way. Do you like my Photoshop handiwork? Pretty good, isn't it? That's Rachel Maddow. She's a Rhodes Scholar. I think she was educated in Harvard. Probably, I would have thought, graduated summa cum laude. She's highly intelligent. I think she's on $30,000 a day or something like that at MSNBC. It's a crazy amount of money that she's on. And she's meant to be the top TV anchor in the US. Her show, the Rachel Maddow Show, is the #1 news show in the United States. And it hasn't always been that way. It's only happened gradually over the last 2 years. And I think it was last year she became the #1 show. She's been there ever since. And she's got there by talking about one subject above all else.
Russia, Vladimir Putin, Russia hates Russia, Putin, Russia, Moscow, Russian, pro-Russian, the Russians, Russian, Moscow, Russia, Putin, Russian against us, Russians rush against the U.S., the Russians, Russian government scheme. The Russians, Vladimir Putin, Russia, Putin and Russia, Moscow, Russia, the Russians, Russia, Putin, Russia, the Soviet Empire, the second of the 20th century's great evils, communism, Russia, assault by Russia,
Putin despises the West in general and the United States in particular, the Soviet Empire. Russia, they're the adversary. They want to bring us down, the Soviet Union.
Russia.
Undermine the West, Soviet communists on the left.
Russia. That does it for us tonight. We will see you again tomorrow.
Hi, Rachel. That was one episode. Just one. Adam Johnson from Fair and Accuracy in Reporting has done an evaluation on her shows over the last 2 years and found that over half the time she is talking about Russia and the Trump-Russian connection, of which there is none. Certainly not collusion, which is what they're accusing them of. That is a typical Rachel Maddow show, Russia baiting. She's done it constantly. She even went so far as to imply in one episode that I saw that if Trump was to remove any of the troops, the NATO troops that are on Russia's border, that shouldn't be there, by the way, that we promised them wouldn't put them there, but if he was to withdraw any of them, practice détente with Russia, then that would suggest that the PP tape really does exist and he really did get those prostitutes to piss on the bed in Moscow. That's honestly what she was implying in her video. In another video that she did that wasn't about Russia, obviously the other time she talks about Trump and tries to bash Trump with anything, the other time she blamed the death, she honestly was trying to imply that the death of the 4 soldiers, the US soldiers that died in Niger last year, was due to Chad running out of the right kind of paper for their passports. Honestly, go back and watch the show. This is what she implied. Chad had run out of the right kind of paper that they made their passports and were facing a delay. And because of that delay, they couldn't send a sample of their passport to the United States. Now, this is where the Muslim ban was coming in. Because they never got that sample, Chad ended up on the Muslim ban. Now, Rachel Maddow said that that was the reason that these 4 American soldiers died, because Trump put them on the Muslim ban, and because they put them on the Muslim ban, Chad withdrew their soldiers from Niger, and that's why the American soldiers, servicemen, died. Now, Chad were already withdrawing their soldiers from Niger even before this Muslim ban came into place. This is something that she didn't really touch upon on that episode, but you see what I mean. She bends the facts. She only concentrates on one side of things, and everything that she does is all aimed towards Russia and Russophobia. That's what it is. And in the last few days, I would say she's crossed the line in the last few days, but the thing is, she crossed that line over a year ago. crossed that line way ago. Now she's gone so far past that line, she can't even see the line. In the words of Joey Tribbiani, the line is a dot to her. And Aaron Maddow tweeted this out. You'll never guess who's seizing on life-threatening cold weather in the US to fearmonger about Russia. I give you crazy, crazy bitch, Rachel Maddow.
This is the director of national intelligence telling us all in unclassified form, in black and white, China and Russia can do this today, now, whenever they want to. In other words, we're relying on their good graces that they're not. And it is like negative 50 degrees in the Dakotas right now. What would happen if Russia killed the power in Fargo today? Right? What would happen if all the natural gas lines that service Sioux Falls just poofed on the coldest day in recent memory, and it wasn't in our power whether or not to turn them back on? I mean, what would you do if you lost heat indefinitely as the act of a foreign power on the same day the temperature in your front yard matched the temperature in Antarctica? I mean, what would you and your family do?
What would you do? What would you do if the crazy Russians did that? What would you do if the crazy Russians killed the power in Fargo? Let me go through this again, just a bit by bit.
This is the director of national intelligence telling...
So she's took a report from the director of national intelligence, which has obviously been planted there and given to her, so she can go off on this rant. That's what normally happens.
Us all in unclassified...
Saying that the Chinese or the Russians could disrupt the national gas pipeline or disrupt the electrical distribution network. And obviously there's a cold snap in America at the moment because of this polar vortex. What a great way to propagandise the public and stoke some Russophobic hate. Hey, Rachel? What a perfect opportunity.
In black and white, China and Russia can do this today, now, whenever they want to. In other words, we're relying on their good graces that they're not.
We're relying on their good graces that they're not doing this. They could take out our electrical grid and our gas pipelines. Russia and China have over 7,000 nuclear weapons. Russia and China have over 7,000 nuclear weapons. They could fire them all at America right now and we'd be obliterated. We're relying on their good graces that they're not. Russia and China could inflict the rats in New York with the bubonic plague. That would kill 10 million New Yorkers in a matter of weeks. We're relying on Russia's and China's good graces that they're not doing that. This is crazy Russophobia. This should be outlawed.
And it is like negative 50 degrees in the Dakotas right now. What would happen if Russia killed the power in Fargo today?
What would happen if Russia killed the power in Fargo today? What would happen? They're not going to do it, but what would happen? Let's stoke up some fear in the Americans and get them to blame Russia for all our problems, shall we? This is your liberal media on cable in the United States.
Right, what would happen if all the natural gas lines that service Sioux Falls just poofed on the coldest day in recent memory?
What happened if they just poof? If the Russians and Chinese, if the Russians just make them go poof? Doesn't explain how they're going to do it, but poof.
It wasn't in our power whether or not to turn them back on. I mean, what would you do?
Wasn't in our power. The Russians have got the switch over in Russia. I'm not going to go on with this. You can see where I'm going with it. I'm not going to go on with the whole video because that is the worst kind of Russophobia I think I have ever seen. And you know what? This is the #1 TV anchor in America. The #1 TV anchor. Do you know what this is? This is fucking dangerous, Rachel Maddow. I fully expected to be making fun of this video when I did it. But you know what? As I've thought about it, the more I've thought about it, the more I've thought, this is not funny. This is frigging dangerous. If you know anybody that's still listening to this stupid cow, this red-baiting, McCarthyist moron, please, please get them to stop. She's making people dumber and she's fear-mongering and stoking the flames of World War III. That's what she's doing. You know what she is? To be quite honest, in one sentence, she is oodles of times more fucking dangerous than Alex Jones whereas he's been kicked off every network and she has got the #1 cable TV show. Now you tell me, is that something that indicates that we're in for a good future? Or is that a sign that humanity is decaying at a rapid rate if she's #1? She's dangerous, far more dangerous than Alex Jones. They should get her off the air, not give her $30,000 frigging dollars a day. For more truly honest, independent media like the video you just saw, please subscribe and click the bell below as well so you get a notification of when I drop further videos. If you also like and share and comment on the video as well, that really helps with the algorithm and boosts exposure. And if you can support me, please do so. You can do it with any of the avenues on the screen at the moment and below this video. You can support me for as little as $1 a month on Patreon, and every dollar helps. We need your support at the moment. We do not have an operating fourth estate. I'm sure you're aware a functioning media holding power accountable is vital for democracy. At the moment, we haven't got it. So people like me are having to fill their shoes and do the job for them with your support. Thanks very much for your support. Till next time. Peace and take care.